Hi everyone. Today we're going to talk about some properties of numbers. We're going to talk about how to simplify an expression or how to rewrite it, how to look at certain addition problems or multiplication problems where it makes evaluating them a little bit easier. So we're going to talk about the commutative, the associative, the distributive, the identity property, and the inverse property today. So I'm going to go over some examples of each one and describe what they are. So the commutative property says that I can change the order of this addition problem or a multiplication problem, and I will still get the same result. I may see that I can do 4 plus 6 pretty easy and get 10, so I may want to do it in that order, 4 plus 6 and then plus 2. Both will get me 12. So the commutative property says I can change the order of addition or a multiplication problem, and the answer won't change. The associative property is very similar, but it says I can change the grouping. I can say 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 4 is 9, or I could say 4 plus 2 is 6 and use the order of operations to do the parentheses first and add 3 and get 9. So commutative is change the order, associative is change the groups for addition and multiplication. Now the distributive property is going to help us when we solve. So 4 times the quantity of x plus 3 is 4 groups of x plus 3. So we have 4 groups of x, and we have 4 groups of 3. And we can rewrite this as 4x plus 12. So we distribute and we multiply the number on the outside by each term so that we show how many groups of each term we have. Now the identity property we use a lot in solving. Okay, is what can we multiply to keep a number the same? So we multiply 4 by 1 and it stays the same. Or the additive identity property says if we add 0 to it, it stays the same and becomes 4. So add 0 or multiply by 1 makes the number stay itself, keeps its same identity. Now the inverse property says to undo a multiplication problem, I got to multiply by the reciprocal. Or we could also see adding the opposite. So 4 plus negative 4 would get us 0. And those are the inverse properties. Now here's our warning. They don't work with subtraction and division. We're going to see why. 4 minus 7 is not the same as 7 minus 4. So if it's a subtraction problem, please don't change the order. Same thing with the associative property. Don't change the order of the grouping. We're going to learn that we got to subtract left to right. If there's if there's a certain group it wants us to do first, we got to do it in that order. Otherwise, you get different answers, and one of them is going to be wrong. And then division, same thing. Don't put in your calculator the division backwards. You have to do 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. 2 divided by 1 is a different answer. So the commutative and associative properties work with addition and multiplication. And now we've learned the commutative, the associative, the identity, the inverse, and the distributive properties.